What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel again, and welcome to another formations breakdown video. The last video, Simon Inzaghi's Inter, it came out 5.5 days ago. You guys may or may not know, I'm a one-man team, and I'm also a student undergoing my master's degree. So I was undergoing my semester finals, and now I'm back again with another video. So that's why there was no video for 5.5 days. So let's dive straight in. The formation we're going to be talking about in this video today, as you saw from the title, it's the 4-1-4-1. So let's go. As you can see, we have picked Barcelona this time. By the way, let me tell you one thing first about the 4-1-4-1. The 4-1-4-1 is actually, as you can see on the screen, it's actually a 4-3-3 holding, but with the exception being there is a left midfielder and a right midfielder, not a left winger, not a right winger. All right. Other than that, there is no difference between the 4-1-4-1 and the 4-3-3 holding. All right. So the tactical preset, excuse me, the tactical preset. First things first, you can go for the custom. All right, because it lets you do everything. All right, but if you want to play a very proactive approach of the 4-1-4-1, then pick the pressing. All right, with of course an aggressive 95 or even 100 high line. All right, but as it's a formations breakdown video, let's keep the tactical preset to custom. All right, so it tailor fits every one of you guys. All right, I always say on my formations breakdown video titles that set up correctly and win everything. I say that for a reason, because if you set the in-game tactics correctly, you're gonna absolutely win everything. But disclaimer here, guys, you set up the tactics, you set up the player roles, you set up everything, but you also, as I sometimes mention in my videos, you also have to have the correct skill sets. All right. So that's another disclaimer for you. So let's keep the tactical preset to custom this time. The formation, of course, it's a 4-1-4-1. It's showing a 4-3-4-3 flat. It's a game glitch. I don't know why that's showing, but yeah, it's a 4-1-4-1. The build-up style in this case, as I said, the 4-1-4-1 is actually a 4-3-3 holding, but with the exception being that it's a left midfielder and a right midfielder, not a left winger and a right winger. All right. So you can go for the counter. There is a confusion here. Many people ask me on Anthony James's Discord server on my Discord DMs that what the build-up style counter actually means. Let me get this thing clear up right now. The build-up style counter, it's not always about counter attacks. All right, you can play short passing football or one touch football with the build up style counter. All right. As it says in the description right there in the game, that this approach encourages players to get in behind the opposition's defense as the team transitions quickly from defense to attack. All right. Your players will be on their bikes, but you can actually play a short passing build up. All right. You can slow the tempo down. All right. So no problems with that one. So that's cleared up. All right. Don't think that the build up style counter it's a low block by parking the bus. It's not that actually. All right. It's quick transition football, and you can go for the counter. You can go for balance, which is of course a combination of short passes and transition or counter attacking football, or you can go just for the short passes where players will come short to receive the ball, that sort of stuff. All right. And this time, let's keep it to balanced. Why not? All right. So sometimes you will see players coming short to receive the ball, or when you win in the ball back in your own half from the opposition, you can go on the counter. So let's keep it to balanced. All right. And as for the defensive approach, by the way, guys, let me tell you one thing. The build-up style, as I did in the I think 4-2-3-1 wide video, that the build-up style and the high line, it actually depends on you. In this formation, it also actually depends on you. What kind of FC player or what kind of football are you looking for? All right. So the build-up style, it's completely up to you. The defensive approach or the high line, it's also completely up to you. All right. If you want to play on the counter, go for it. If you want to play short passing football, you can also go for it. Or if you want to mix and match, go for the balanced. All right, it's fine. And the defensive approach or the high line, if you look at my back foot there, it's Alejandro Balde, Ibrahima Konate, Pau Kubarsi, and Jules Gunde. Uh, these are very fast defenders, all right. So it makes sense that I keep the high line to 100, all right. I always play with a 100 high line. And as I always mention in my formations breakdown video, that this aggressive defensive approach, it triggers a gegenpress, all right. And the high line, it also depends on your defensive skill sets. How good are you on defending? All right. There is a controller here, but I don't play on a controller. I play on a keyboard. All right. But as I said, it also depends on your skill sets, your defensive skill sets actually. All right. And I'm also playing on advanced defending, which is the toughest defending to do. So let's keep this to 100. Why not? And another thing, I sometimes say that you also have to have the correct players at your disposal. All right. So that's that. I have fast center backs at the back with fast fullbacks. So it's a no-brainer to keep 100 high line. All right. It's fine. And I have fast wingers on either sides. So there's that. And now for the player roles. Uh, the most tricky part of any formation breakdowns, as I always like to say. Victor Boniface, yeah, Lewandowski, he's here, but he's injured. He got injured at the start of the season, so we got Victor Boniface instead. He's a sole striker up top, so keep him as a poacher with an attack focus. It's fine. And as for the wider players, you have Lamine, and of course you have Rafinha. And in this case, it's showing a winger with balance, but I'm gonna change that. As I said, the role winger and with the focus of balanced, it's actually a wing back. All right, I mentioned this time and time in my videos. If you are playing a back four, don't play a winger with a focus on balanced. This is actually a wing back. A winger with a focus on balanced, it's actually a wing back. All right. So in the case, as Rafinha is left-footed, let's get him on a wide playmaker. All right, not an inside forward. Uh, Also about this wide playmaker thing, I always say that the wide playmaker will always position himself in a way that you always have a passing lane open to the player. All right, but the inside forward, it has a limitation. What's that? The inside force limitation is that if you are playing a team which is very dogged in defense or using a very low block, then it's actually very tough to get your wider players or your wingers on the ball. So it's better to keep them on wide playmakers, both sides, same thing. All right, they will position themselves out wide for passing options, but you have the option to cut inside. All right, I always keep my wingers on wide playmakers, not inside forwards. All right, although Lamin has an inside forward plus, but it doesn't matter actually. He also has a wide midfield playmaker plus, but it doesn't actually matter. All right, they will position themselves in a way that you always have a passing lane open. All right, so there's that. And the 4-1-4-1, if you look at the formation here, you can actually see that the players without the ball, they are closer to one another. All right. Except from Victor Boniface, everybody is actually closer to one another. If you compare this to the 4-3-3 holding, your fullback and your winger are very far away from one another. And so does your midfield and your three attackers. I mean, your strikers and your two wingers. All right. But in this case, it's not that. All right. And by the way, in my 4-4-1-1 midfield video, I mentioned that when you're pushing a 100 high line with a 4-4-1-1 midfield, it actually pushes a mid block. This formation, the 4-1-4-1, it does exactly the same thing. It actually pushes a mid block. You will see in a while. All right, let's get the player roles out of the way first. And as for the midfield, you can actually mix and match. All right, depending on the players you have at your disposal. Let's get De Jong on the other side of the pitch. Yeah, starting with Marcelo Brozovic there. Barcelona currently doesn't have, apart from Casado, they don't have an actual CDM. So I brought in Marcelo Brozovic. He's a veteran, of course, Croatian. Currently is playing at Saudi. But yeah, keep him as a holding midfielder with a focus of defend. Because as I always like to say, don't keep your DMs on ball winning focuses because he will go out of position. He will aggressively try to win a ball, but if he misses that ball, then you're cooked through the middle. You don't want that actually. You want your holding midfielders to stay at their places. All right. So that's that. And if you don't have, there are actually a lot of options. If Marcelo Brodovic's profile is a hybrid between physicality and technicality. All right. So you can also deploy him as a deep line playmaker. He has a plus, deep line playmaker plus. It's fine. You can also do that. He's a mixture of Xavi Alonso and Aurelien Tchouameni. I know that's a very, very tough comparison because it's physicality and technicality, and it's Barcelona, and I mentioned Xavi Alonso and Tchouameni. They are from Real Madrid, but just for example's sake, I mentioned those two guys. That Xavi Alonso, he was a deep line playmaker. All right, he was a resistor, but Aurelien Tchouameni, he is a destroyer actually, which is of course a holding and a ball winning focus. But in this case, if you have somebody who is technically good on the ball, all right, but doesn't have that much physicality, you can put him on a deep line playmaker with a defense focus. It's fine. It will work. No problems. All right. But if you have somebody who is an out and out CDM like a Marcelo Brozovic, like a Hakan Çalhanoğlu, or somebody like Joshua Kimmich, maybe sorry, João Palhinha, then you can go for that. All right, the holding defend, or as I said, if you have technical players, then go for the deep line playmaker with defend. No problems. So I have kept Marcelo Brozovic as a holding with the defend focus. All right, it's fine. Pedri, yeah, traditionally is a box to box midfielder, so keep him that way. Or if you have somebody which is like Dani Olmo, then get a role playmaker with a focus of attack. All right. Pedri has a playmaker plus. I don't know why he doesn't have a box to box plus, but yeah, he's a box to box midfielder. All right. No questions asked. So keep one of your center mids as a box to box, and what you can do. Another thing is, if you look at Frankie De Jong, it's better you keep him either on a box to box or as a playmaker. He has a playmaker plus plus. All right. So uh, if you want to play two box to box midfielders who have balanced stats, it's fine. If it was Conor Gallagher on the other side, then and Pedri, then I would have put both of them as a box to box. I also have Danny Olmo. If I have put Danny Olmo in De Jong's place, I would have put him as a playmaker. All right, it's fine with a focus of attack. You can mix and match actually. As I said, depending on the players you have at your disposal, choose your player roles correctly. All right, and this holding and defend focus for Marcelo Brozovic, this you will not actually see much of him in the game. All right, and that's a good thing. All right, that's a very good thing that you don't see your CDMs in the game. That means you are doing something good. All right, but when he's absent, you will see that there is you're considering a lot of through balls through the middle. So that's that. So as I said, keep your DMs on a holding or defend, or with a deep line playmaker on defend, depending on the player you have at your disposal. One box to box midfielder, that's mandatory. All right, and another one you can get on a box to box or as a playmaker. It works. All right. So let's actually mix and match. We have a holding midfielder, we have a box to box midfielder, and let's get Frankie De Jong as a playmaker. It's fine. All right. So that's that. And now for the back four. Alejandro Balde, yeah, wing back. He has a lot of pace, so keep him on a wing back with a focus of support. All right. On the other side, Jules Gunde, same thing. It's fine. And as you guys all know, my defenders, I always keep them, no matter what, with the role defender and a focus of balanced. All right. And as for Chesney, keep him on a sweeper keeper on balanced, as it's a modern game. All right. So the formation, this is what it looks like with the ball. You can see that it looks like a 3-6-1. All right. And the players are actually closer to one another. On the right side, on the left side, on the back line, everything. It's a 3-6-1. All right. With the ball. And without the ball, it's a 4-1-4-1. All right. So there's that. And as I said, that you can actually play your defenders as a ball playing defender, even if their role is a defender with a focus on balanced. It's fine. All right. And the wing back with the support, I always keep them on support because if you keep them on balanced, they will actually go up when you don't have controlled possession. All right, they will stay up. But with the support focus, when you are on the back foot, or if you are facing a counter attack, or the CPU is attacking you, then the wing back with the support focus or your fullbacks with the support focus, they will actually compact the pitch. All right, they will actually compact the pitch. And Rafinha and Lamine, or your wider players, they will cover the wider areas. All right, and your midfielders will drop back. So that's fine. Your only out ball is your striker. He will also drop back to defend, but he's gonna be your out ball. So that's that. The support focus, it does just that. They compact the middle of the pitch. So the CPU can't actually play through the middle. So that's that. And as I said, this aggressive 100 highline, it actually pushes a very high mid block. You'll see in a while. All right. You have five midfielders, you have four defenders, and if you get 100 highline, when you're playing on the halfway line, you are actually pushing nine players in the midfield. That's a very tough mid block to play through. All right. So that's that. Why is it showing a 3-4-3 flat? Yeah, 4-4-1 on midfield. Ah, I did a blunder there. 4-1-4-1. Yeah. I have to go adjust the player rules again. No problems. Excuse me for my sloppiness, guys. It's been a while actually, as I said. It's been 5.5 days since the last video. Wing backs on support, defender unbalanced, sweeper keeper, goalkeeper unbalanced. I think it's fine. Brozovic holding defend. Yep. Yeah. Build up style balanced with 100 high line. So that's the 4-1-4-1. And as I always like to do in these kinds of videos, let's show you a gameplay actually. Let's get this Catalan derby underway with Espanyol. You can also play Frankie de Jong, he gets a +2, but you can also play Dani Olmo, he gets a -1, but as you have put him on a playmaker role, it's gonna actually work. Alright, so let's get Dani Olmo as well. I have Lewandowski, but he's injured, so that's that. Yeah. It's saying at the Spotify Camp Nou, but the Camp Nou is not in the game. So yeah. Espanyol and Barcelona, it's a very hostile derby if you didn't know. Yeah, that ain't no Camp Nou, my man. So they kick the game off. And straight away you can see that Espanyol are trying to go through the wide areas because you are pushing a very high mid block. Alright. You have a compact midfield. Okay, we win the ball back. So that's Lamine trying to dribble past the defender. Okay, he dropped him there, completely cooked. That was a nice shot, nice cutback. I intended to go it to Boniface, but it didn't. Let's get somebody who is right-footed. Daniel is right-footed, so let's get him on the corner. Somebody. Okay, it didn't work, but we still have the ball. Rafinha, have a shot, my man. Brozovic. That was a tussle in the box. Yeah. Marcelo Brozovic, I think. Yep. That was yeah. When the Ederman gone. Yeah, so that's Rafinha. He has a lot of pace. Let's pass it to Dani Olmo. Yep, fine. He's doing his traditional playmaking role. Cutback Boniface didn't work, but as you can see, you can go on the counter. You can sometimes rotate the ball. So that's Pau Kubarsi. Jules Koundé there. Yeah, as you can see, it's not always a counter. So here's Pedri going past everybody, coming in the box. Dani Olmo, have a shot, my man. Saved. Yeah. As I said, guys, if you didn't know Espanyol versus Barca, it's actually a derby. They don't like each other. So Dani Olmo, he intercepted that ball but couldn't keep it. So here's Kubarsi. That's a nice pass to Lamine. Here's Pedri. Nice pass again. As you can see, you can play short passing football, one touch football, all that good stuff. Let's pull this back. Yep. Brozovic there. Sometimes you have to rotate the ball. It's not always counters or that sort of stuff. I mean, come on, have a shot, my man. That was a nice shot, not gonna lie. But yeah. We have kept the build-up style to balanced. But yeah, the build-up style balanced, it's actually a combination of short passes and counters. So that's that. Rafinha on the corner. Come on, man, let's score a goal. Okay, that's a goal. I think that's an own goal. That's Marcelo Brozovic, but I think that's an own goal. Let's see from the replay. Yeah. The Barca fans going absolutely mad. Forza Tito, yeah, rest in peace. If you don't know who Tito Villanova is, he was a. Yeah, that's an own goal. He was the assistant manager to Pep, and he was actually, when Pep left Barca, he was the manager of Barca, but he passed away, and then Luis Enrique took over the club. That's out for a throw in. Yeah, compare the short passing football just like this. Read the ball. They're playing 100 high line, so players are all over the place. Pass it to Lamine. Then go forward. Uh, we get a throw in, but yeah. There's Pedri. I think that's Dani Olmo. Yep. That was a nice intended pass, but didn't go through. As you can see, that Espanyol, although they did get a pass through the middle, they still had to go wide. So yeah, that's that. There's Kubarsi. There's Kunde, nice ball to Yamal. Nice dribbling under pressure. Let's pull this back, my man. Yep. Let's pass it to Brozovic. Yeah. Yeah, you don't see him much, but yeah, Daniel have a shot. It's blocked, but yeah. We could have intercepted that ball, but we didn't. So that's the first half. Yeah. So we win the first half 1-0. But as you saw, it's a mixture of counters and a lot of opportunities actually. There was a cutback, there was a shot, there were decent shots actually. If you see the match facts, we had 7 shots. Uh, let's see how were they on target. So we had 7 shots. Does it say anything about on target, off target? Yeah, 7 shots, 3 on target. That's fine. Position, yeah, 61% position. Fine with that one as well. So as I always do on these kinds of videos, let's recap actually. The 4-4-1, 4-1-4-1. I'm mixing up the 4-4-1-1 with the 4-1-4-1. But yeah. So let's look at the tactics. The tactical preset is set to custom. But as I said, if you want to play a very proactive approach, you can go for the gegen pressing or the pressing. It's fine. The formation, it's a 4-1-4-1. Build up style, this time I've kept it to balanced. You can go for the counter, you can go for the short passing, you can go for the balanced. This time we went for the balanced. It's fine. It's a mixture of counter attacks and short passing build up. All right. So that's that. And the defensive approach, I always like to play with the 100 high line, but the high line, it actually depends on the players you have at your disposal. How fast are your defenders? How fast are your fullbacks? That sort of stuff. and also it depends on how good are you at defending. All right, you have to anticipate passes, you have to anticipate cutbacks, you have to anticipate what the CPU might be doing. You have to think two passes ahead. All right, so that's that. And you, if you have a very high footballing IQ, or if you have been playing FC for a while actually, then yeah, that's that. FC 25, for example, FC 25 I've been playing for almost 750 hours. So that's that. And yeah, you can drop it down to 70, or you can get it to balance. But if you get it to balance, I would recommend you don't go for the 50, you go for the 60. All right. So that's that. And the player roles, you have a sole striker up top, so keep him as a poacher with the focus of attack. It's fine. If you had two strikers, then it would have been a different scenario. All right. But as it's a one striker formation, uh, get this guy on a poacher on attack focus. It's fine. All right. And then your wider players, as I always say, don't get them on inside forwards. All right, get them on wide playmakers. As you saw, that Lamine was always getting the ball. You always had the majority of the play went through the right hand side of the pitch with Kunde, Kuvarsi, Pedri, and Lamine. Also, Brozovic joining in. The play didn't go that much from the left hand side of the pitch. It went to the right hand side. But it's the same case with the left hand side. As you saw in the game, that Lamine had a lot of the ball. Why? Because he is on a wide playmaker with the focus of attack. He always has a passing lane open to him. All right. If he was an inside forward, he wouldn't have that passing lane open. All right. That combination of Jules Koundé, Pedri, and Lamine, it wouldn't have worked that well if he was on an inside forward. All right. So the role wide playmaker with the focus of attack, it allows your wingers to always have a passing lane open to them. Then Lamine, I think, had a shot from outside of the box. So you have the option, as I always say, to cut inside, pull back, go to the byline, dribble past defenders, cut inside, go into the box, give a cutback, that sort of stuff. All right. I think Danny Olmo did the same thing. He went to the byline and uh, got a cutback in, but it didn't work. All right. Lamine put I think two or maybe three cutbacks. One went, it was a tussle in the box. It went to Pedri. He had a shot. Then it went to Brozovic. Then he had a shot. Then it deflected. He had another shot. Then it went out for a goal kick. So that's that. So the wide playmaker on both sides, they always will have a passing lane open. So you can stay out wide, go to the byline, pull it back, then go to the Arjen Robben position. That's what I like to call the half space, where you cut inside and shoot. All right, that position, or you can go to the box, crash into the box, get a cutback in, that sort of stuff. All right, so it's better to get them on a wide playmaker with a focus of attack. All right, both sides, same thing. And as for the two center mids, you can get one as a playmaker, the other one, of course, as a box to box midfielder. One box to box center midfielder in this formation is actually mandatory. All right, because they have to run a lot. All right, you have to have that offensive coverage, you also have to have that defensive coverage. All right, and on the other side, you can actually play two box to box midfielders. All right, but if you have a cam like Danny Olmo, you can play him as a playmaker with an attack focus or with a roaming focus, but the roaming focus has a limitation. What is that? That he will go to different places, he will go to different sides of the pitch, and it will leave gaps. You don't want that actually. All right. So it's better to put him on a playmaker with a sole focus of attack. All right. So then your CDMs, depending on who you have at your disposal, you can get them on holding with a defend focus, just like I did here with Marcelo Brozovic. And if you have a CDM who is technically good on the ball but is slow, then get them on a deep line playmaker with a defend focus. It's fine. All right. So that's that. Xavi, by the way, Xavi Hernandez, uh, he when he was young, he was put in as a number 6. All right, he was a deep line playmaker, but uh, afterwards, Pep, not Pep actually. I think I forgot his name. The manager of Barca after Louis van Gaal, he put him as a number 8 alongside Iniesta, and I think Edgar Davids played. Yeah, I don't remember actually. It was a long time ago. I have a very short memory, but yeah, that's that. So as Javi Hernandez, Javi, he was short. He was actually a regista or a deep line playmaker, all right, or a pivot. So that's that. And if you have somebody who is very physical, like a as I said, Aurelien Chouameni, or like a Rodri, or like a Moises Caicedo, all those guys who Manolo Ugarte, then get them on holding with a defend focus. All right. Marcelo Brozovic, he can play. He can do both actually. He's very good on the ball. He has a very decent passing range. He has a very good looking. He's Croatian. He's from the Balkans, so he has that physicality as well. So yeah, that's that. I have kept him on a holding and defend just because to keep the back line solid. So that's that. He has a deep line playmaker plus I would have put him there, but I thought it would be better in this formation to put him as a shielder of the back four, as the wing backs are pushing high up top with Konate and Kuvarsi and Brozovic holding the fort at the back. So that's why I put him on a holding and defend focus. All right. As for the two fullbacks, put them on a wing back with a support focus. As I said, the support focus when you are not on the ball, as you saw, Espanyol, they not Espanyol, but Barcelona or when we were not on the ball, we were pushing a very high mid block, and they couldn't actually play through the middle. They had, I think, only one ball through the middle, but as soon as they received the ball, they went out wide because they can't play through the middle because your fullbacks, along with your defenders and your midfielders, are compacting the pitch. That's what the support focus actually does. All right. When you are not on the ball, they actually compact the pitch. All right. And when you are with the ball, they actually widens the pitch and pushes up top, along with your wingers. They, if your winger cuts inside, they overlap. If your winger doesn't cut inside, they stay. They either go to the half spaces or they stay back, depending on the scenario. For example, if Rafinha pushes up top and alongside Dani Olmo, then what Balde will do is he will occupy the space behind Dani Olmo, if you know what I mean. If your winger is going to the wider areas, and also one of your midfielders is going alongside him on the half space, all right, not the wider space. Your winger is running on the wider spaces, but your midfielder is running through the half space. Then what this guy will do is he will occupy the space left by your center mids or your playmakers, whoever it is. But if for some reason Dani Olmo or Pedri or your two center mates doesn't occupy that half space uh, along with your winger, then that half space will be occupied by your fullbacks. All right, so that's that. And this guy or Pedri, then they will try and crash into the box. All right, so that's that. And Marcelo Brozovic, your CDM, if you are pushing 100 high line, he will actually stay on the edge of the box. All right, so that's that. And your two defenders, they will stay on the just above the halfway line on the opposition's half. All right, so that's the scenario. And your striker, he will look for positions to score goals. And Chesney or your goalkeeper, whoever you have, keep him on a sweeper keeper and on balanced as it's a modern game. All right, so that he could pick up loose balls, that sort of stuff. Chesney, he's an old school goalkeeper, but keep him on a sweeper keeper on balanced. It's fine. It's a modern game. And as you're pushing 100 high line, there might be some loose balls that your goalkeeper might want to collect. So rather than pushing the rush button, which is of course the through pass button, why not just keep it on sweeper keeper on balanced? So he picks up loose balls when necessary and closes and comes for crosses when necessary as well. So that's that. So that was the 4-1-4-1 formation breakdown, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I hope you use it. One of my subscribers actually, he said he's new to the channel. He subscribed newly, but his comment actually it made me very happy and a bit emotional as well because he said he uses my tactics a lot. He said I'm quoting him. He said he uses my tactics a lot, seriously a lot. So yeah, it's a new channel. It's almost 4 months old now. So that kind of comment actually means the world to me. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. It was yeah, I actually try to put out videos every day, but as I'm going through my final exams, I couldn't. But thank you everyone for your support. And yeah, that's that. If you like any of the videos, if you like anything on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 150 subs. So that's that. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you all for everything. It means the world to me. All right. So thank you. So that's it for me today. Keep your friends safe, keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers and goodbye.